Interesting fact, the word person comes from the Latin persona, which means mask. It suggests that maybe the idea of personhood is simply the idea of the mask we show other people. And if that personhood is simply the mask we show other people, do we still count as people if no one else can see that mask? Because, obviously if a mask is on your face, you can see right, you're seeing through the eye holes of the mask. You can't see what you look like. You only rely on the reflection of how other people view that mask and how they inform you what that mask creates for you. So can a person exist on their own, or do they require other people to make them exist? So when people say just be yourself, who are they really asking you to be? Are they asking you to be who people expect you to be because that's the way your mask is most often interpreted? Are those expectations something bigger? Are those expectations a societal norm, something that they expect everyone to be in? In that case, does it really reflect you at all? Now, obviously, I change the way I act for different situations. I mean, we all do. If I'm at a very professional setting, then I'll act very professional. If I'm in a very casual setting, I'll act very casual. I don't really think that's like giving up on being myself, because I think those are myself in those very moments. I mean, I don't think yourself is a thing that carries on very far. I think yourself is just who you are in that very instant. So, I mean, like, any given moment, something you do is who you are. I mean, right now I'm a guy with a big aluminum foil beard. Now, am I not a guy with a big aluminum foil beard just because a second ago I was a guy with an aluminum foil hat? It doesn't matter, because it's who you are in that very instant. And I think people lose sight of this, and I think that people sort of go through and they pick a person for themselves, so they look for who society says they should be, and then they just start to be that person. A couple situations that really make me question the idea of, how much does personhood transcend? How much does someone stay themselves? The first one would be forensics, and the second one would be my roommate. Let's start with forensics. If you don't know what forensics is, you're probably thinking CSI, or crime scene investigation, which is a type of forensics, but not the type I do. The type I do is like a public speaking competition. I don't really enjoy it actually, but I get money for school for doing it. So, and I guess I'm pretty good at it because I get a lot of trophies and stuff. But everyone sort of acts, I guess I can't call it fake, judging by what I just said, but everyone acts in a way that's really atypical of how people usually act. I brought a couple of my friends to an award ceremony one time, and they were just blown away. I thought it was like a cult, and I often get in a lot of trouble at forensics events because I guess the myself that I am at those forensics events isn't exactly the myself that everyone expects me to be. I'm talkative. I get really excited about things. I'm loud. I don't really follow a lot of the social conventions that you're supposed to do, which, I used to be proud of the fact that I didn't often follow social conventions, but at the same time I feel like, that's part of the sport. Part of the sport is being this person. Part of it's a competition to see who can be those people the best. And so if I'm seriously competitive about it, then I should seriously be trying to be those people. And that's one thing that I've really got to work on. The second thing I want to talk about is my roommate. If you go to Wayne State, I guess Lance is probably one of those people from Wayne State that's going to watch this, but you'll know about my roommate. His name, I guess I won't put his name in here, but he's I guess transsexual is the term. He doesn't play. He's currently like physically a male, like he has boy parts and whatnot, and he but he presents himself as a woman, and he's gotten a lot of incidents where he likes to go to clubs. He's one of those little club bitches who thinks they're so cool because four people will look at them. I really hate club kids, but so he presents himself as a woman at these clubs, and then he gets himself into situations where guys think he's a woman, and they flirt with him, and they want to hook up with him or whatever, and then they find out he's a guy, and a couple times, I don't think he's ever actually gotten beat up, but he says he says they were going to beat him up, or they says that they threatened him. I don't know how true or how untrue that his stories are about that. He's very spoiled and very prone to lying, but I mean, I can understand how it would happen. And one time I usually just ignore him when he talks about stuff like that, because honestly I don't want to get involved. It's not really any of my business. I just have another 10 weeks to live with him, then I'll be on my merry way. But the thing is, like, one time he asked me about it. He was like, "Can you believe this happened?" And I was like, "Well, it seems to me like you're lying to these people." And that really got me thinking. That's sort of what started all this, the idea that I said he was lying to these people because he's presenting himself as a woman, and his excuse was, no, this is just the way I dress. I can dress how I want. And it's like, yeah, you can dress however you want, but you have to expect that when you dress in certain ways, there's certain repercussions. You have the right to wear whatever you want, and they have the right to, say whatever they want about what you're wearing, as long as no one infringes on the other person's right. It's okay. But you're presenting yourself as something you're not, and I think that's lying. And so I wasn't really upset about the situations he got into. But the more I think about it, was he really lying? You know, Now obviously he was trying to present himself as someone that had, a different physical body different physical body, different parts down under. But so I can see how that's lying. But on a deeper level, I mean, if he, perceived himself as that person at that very time, who's to say he's not that person at that very time? And I don't know, maybe he wasn't lying. I still don't agree with the way he presents himself and the way he misleads these people, but I think in other ways we all mislead people like that. We all present ourselves as something that we don't feel we should be on the inside. Maybe he really feels like he should be a woman on the inside. I don't think that's the case. I think he just does it a lot for attention. People are gonna think I'm insensitive or intolerant because of that, but I've lived with him for about 10 months now, and I've really come to that conclusion. I'm not saying there's not people out there that are legitimately transgender and legitimately identify as a female, but I don't think that's the case with him. I guess another part of it, he's a very complex character. I almost view him as like a sociological experiment, being roommates with him. But he has a lot of these fake purses, but he's absolutely, I don't know if he's convinced, I don't know if he believes they're real, but he'll stick by the fact that he thinks these are very real purses. It's a real Louis Vuitton, a real Coach, and he's got like fucking 10 of them, all different stupid brands. Like, I guess there's not one right around me, but might show one or something, I don't know. But it's just like, if he thinks they're real, who's to say they're not? A lot of people get pissed off because he's really spoiled and conceited about it. He's like, I can't believe people wear those fake purses, and his are completely fake too. And he just doesn't admit it. I don't know if he legitimately believes they're real though, which one thing that really confuses me, because I'm not a purse expert, but you can tell when something's a knockoff or not. Like, my girlfriend's mom bought me this Gucci wallet, and on the inside, and someone explained to me how on the inside of the Gucci wallet, like, it showed, the Gucci brand, like, embedded into the fabric on the inside of the wallet. And that's one of the big ways you know that something's real or something's not real. And he has like this Louis Vuitton stuff, and it's not embroidered on the inside. So like, and just the way he treats them, you can tell they're fake. But I really think he believes they're real. So does that make them any less real? And that's the weird question. I don't have an answer for it. I guess if anyone watched the video all the way to this point and wants to make a response about it, that's cool. I don't know. Tell me what you think.